Good day, my dear grade 7 learners. I am Ma'am Juliana Lipio, your MAPE teacher and learning buddy. Before we start our lesson, let's have an opening prayer. Almighty Father, we praise and thank you for this day. We adore you for you have made this school year happen. Grant us mercy for sometimes forgetting how each day is a gift of meaningful change. Thank you for helping us as we gradually transition to the new normal. Let your Spirit guide and inspire us as we move forward. Amen. How are you, my dear learners? Are you doing fine? I hope that you are all tuning in for today's lesson. Before we proceed to our next lesson, let us recall our previous discussion. Do you still remember the lesson that we had? That's great! Health is most often being related to solely the physical well-being of an individual. But don't you know that health is more than looking healthy? As you have learned from the previous lesson, health has various dimensions, and these are physical, emotional, mental, social, moral, spiritual, and environmental. Aside from looking healthy, an individual must also be feeling, thinking, and interacting healthy to achieve wellness. Let us know our objectives for today. After going through this lesson, you are expected to: first, understand mental and emotional health. Second, define stress, eustress, and distress and identify them. And lastly, identify causes of anxiety or stress which will lead to our most essential learning competency, which is differentiates eustress from distress and identify situations that cause feelings of anxiety or stress. For our pre-assessment, we will check your background knowledge about our lesson for today. You will read and identify what is being described in each statement. Choose your answer from the given choices. Number 1. It is the response of the body and mind to unpleasant events in life. Letter A, distress. Letter B, eustress. Letter C, stress. And letter D, trauma. Number 2. It refers to the situation or thing that causes stress. Letter A, hassle. Letter B, hypothalamus. Letter C, phobia. Or letter D, stressor. Number 3. It is a positive and healthy response of the body from a stressor. Letter A, alarm. Letter B, distress. Letter C, eustress. Or letter D, exhaustion. Number 4. It refers to a negative reaction of the body towards a given stressor. Letter A, distress. Letter B, eustress. Letter C, exhaustion. And letter D, resistance. And lastly, number 5. It is an organ of the brain that activates the body when it perceives a stressor. Letter A, autonomic nervous system. Letter B, endocrine system. Letter C, hypothalamus. And letter D, nervous system. Now, let's reveal the answer for each question. Here are the correct answers. Number 1, C, stress. Number 2, D, stressor. Number 3, C, eustress. Number 4, A, distress. And number 5, C, hypothalamus. How's your score? Were you able to answer all the questions correctly? That's good. If not, don't worry. You will learn more from today's lesson. Great job for participating. For today's lesson, we will discuss about mental and emotional health. It will help you be aware of how your health is affected with the way you think and feel. Let us define mental emotional health. It is the state or balance of a person's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Mental emotional health relates to how people look at themselves, their lives, and the other people in their lives, how they evaluate their challenges and problems, and how they explore choices. This includes handling stress, relating to other people, and making decisions. Let's have this short activity. This activity is name that emoji. It is very simple and I know you can answer this one easily. By the way, what is emoji? It is a small digital image or icon used to express an idea, emotions, and others. I will show you different emojis and you will give their name. Are you ready? Here is emoji number 1. Can you name this emoji? Yes, it's a happy emoji. Number 2. The answer is a scared emoji. Number 3. This is a crying emoji. How about this number 4? An angry emoji. And lastly, for number 5, the answer is fearful emoji. Have you guessed them all? That's great! Teenagers like you commonly use emojis to express one's feeling right, whether thought, texting, or chatting with your friends. We use these emojis to describe how we feel on a particular situation or event that we encounter. Like when you are happy, when you received shocking news, when you heard a sad story. My dear students, surely you are familiar with those emojis because even in social media like Facebook, we have this reaction section where we can show our reaction on a particular post or event. Let's try another activity. For this activity too, you will simply draw a smiley face if you feel happy for each given question, and sad face if not. Are you ready? Don't forget to bring out your paper and pen for this activity. Let's start! Here are the following situations. Number 1. Your dad bought you a new cell phone. Number 2. You were not allowed to go out with your friends. Number 3. You received a failing grade. Number 4. You are going to attend a birthday party. And number 5. You lost your wallet. Let's check if you were able to answer them correctly. Number 1. Your dad bought you a new cell phone. Happy face. Number 2. You are not allowed to go out with your friends. Sad face. Number 3. You received a failing grade. Sad face. Number 4. You are going to attend a birthday party. Smiley face. And number 5. You lost your wallet. Sad face. Great job, my dear students! From the activity, it only shows that you might encounter different situations in life that also gives you different responses. Some might give you a happy reaction, and some might give you a sad reaction, or even other situations. And that is normal, because we react in accordance to our feelings. These responses are commonly known as stress. To know more about our lesson for this day, we will discuss about stress, its kind and situation that causes stress. Are you ready? Let's start. Stress is a normal human reaction that happens to everyone. In fact, the human body is designed to experience stress and react to it. When you experience changes or challenges, your body produces physical and mental responses. Stress affects us all. Stress is everywhere. And while a little stress is okay, some stress is actually beneficial. Too much stress can wear you down and make you sick, both mentally and physically. Have you been stressed before? What stresses you most of the time? For teenagers like you, tension at home is a common source of stress. They may be troubled by family discord or divorce. For example, school is another frequent source of concern for kids. Some might be stressed about making friends, dealing with bullies, or getting along with their teachers. They might also be anxious about tests and grades. Stress is defined as the physiological or physical and emotional responses to a significant or unexpected change or disruption in one's life. It may also refer to what you feel when you react to pressure, either from outside world, school, family, friends, or from yourself, wanting to fit in, wanting to do well in school. Do you think that stress is always something negative? Actually, stress can either be negative or positive. There are two kinds of stress, eustress and distress. Eustress refers to a positive and healthy response of the body from a stressor. It produces good effects to one's well-being. This has the following characteristics: motivates, focuses energy, is short-term, is perceived as within our coping abilities, feels exciting, improves performance. For example, a person who studied for long hours then took and got an outstanding grade in the exam may feel happiness and enjoyment. On the other hand, this stress refers to a negative reaction of the body towards a given stressor. It may cause problems in health, alter the mood and emotions, and even affect the way a person thinks. Its characteristics are: causes anxiety or concern, can be short or long term, is perceived as outside of our coping abilities, feels unpleasant, decreases performance, can lead to mental and physical problems. For example, a person who suffers from bullying may feel weak, scared, develop low self-esteem, or may feel angry. People react differently to stressful situations. What is stressful for one person may not be stressful for another, and almost any event can potentially cause stress. For some people, just thinking about a trigger or several smaller triggers can cause stress. Feeling stress and anxiety are a part of life. Some levels of stress can actually be good for us, as the right kind of stress encourages us toward change and growth. However, when stress and anxiety exist for an extended period of time, they can become a burden or even a health risk. But what causes your stress? Various factors have been closely regarded as the main causes of stress among teenagers. Some have found school life so hard that it can't accommodate them because of the kind of stress they may face. The cause of stress is called stressor. Stressors are situations which make you worried or nervous. When people talk about stress in life, in reality, they think about stressors. Stressors lead to body stress response. Here are some other causes of stress or anxiety. Academics, like exam, projects, presentation, and others. Family problem or problems at home. Peer pressure. Parental pressure. Poor time management. Environment. Lack of support. Deadlines. Emotional changes like infatuation or love. Physical changes. Changes to routine. Unexpected situation such as accidents, death. Poor self-esteem. Social stress. Sibling rivalry. Those are some of the causes of stress or anxiety. Stress is natural reaction to many situations in life, such as in family, relationships, and money problems. It is very important to know where your stress comes from or what causes it, so you may know what to do or where to ask help. Before we move on to another set of activity, let's have a trivia. The body is activated when the brain perceives a stressor. Found in the brain is an organ called the hypothalamus, which is the control center, activating two systems when the stressor is present. These two systems are the autonomic nervous system and the endocrine system. The autonomic nervous system releases adrenaline into the bloodstream. The endocrine system releases hormones that travel through the bloodstream to the adrenal, thyroid, and other glands of the body. The heart rate increases and blood pressure rises when these two systems are activated. The body changes that occur from experiencing stress is called general adaptation syndrome. Now try to recall what you have learned about the lesson. Do the things you think and feel affect your everyday life? How does your body respond to the things you think and feel? Stress is a natural reaction to many situations in life, such as in family, relationships, and money problems. It is very important to know where your stress comes from or what causes it, so you may know what to do or where to ask help. Stress can either be negative or positive. Wow! You really listened and watched attentively in our discussion. At this point, let's have another set of activity. For activity number 3, listen carefully to the story presented. Write in the table the situation that are found in the story which you consider eustress and distress. Are you now ready to listen? That's great! Don't forget to bring out your paper and pen. Listen carefully and note the important details. Let's begin! A teenager has been experiencing a lot in high school. Recently, his mother left the country to work abroad. That brought him extreme sadness. He went to his peer group and do smoking, drinking liquor, and sometimes taking drugs. Later, he realized his wrong actions. To keep himself busy, the teenager learned to read a lot of books. He promised to his nanay he will do good in his studies, so nanay's hard work and sacrifices will be worthy. In the last quarter exam, the teenager scored the highest in mathematics and araling panlipunan. This made him and his mother very happy. Did you listen attentively? Great job! Let's check if your answers are correct. Eustress, number 1. Teenager learned to read a lot of books. Number 2. He promised to his nanay he will do good in his studies. Number 3. The teenager scored the highest in mathematics and araling panlipunan. For distress, number 1. A teenager has been experiencing a lot in high school. Number 2. His mother left the country to work abroad that brought him extreme sadness. Number 3. He went to his peer group and do smoking, drinking liquor, and sometimes taking drugs. Let's get ready for your final task. Again, bring out your paper and pen. Try this activity. For activity number 4, eustress and distress. Read the following situations. Write E if you consider the situation as a source of eustress, and D if it is a source of distress. Number 1. Choosing a gift for a friend. Number 2. Fighting with a classmate. Number 3. Attending party. Number 4. Being introduced to your crush. Number 5. Doing school project. Number 6. Losing your money. Number 7. Meeting a new friend. Number 8. Losing a loved one. Number 9. Doing class presentation. And number 10. Riding on an airplane. Let's check if your answers are correct. Number 1, E. Number 2, D. Number 3, E. Number 4, E. Number 5, E. Number 6, D. Number 7, E. Number 8, D. Number 9, E. And number 10, E. Were you able to identify eustress and distress? Congratulations, my dear students! You really did well in our activity. For your assignment, write one stressful event in your life and explain how you handle it. Sometimes, a stressful situation just lasts a moment, like getting through a school play audition or making the foul shot and could win the game. But life also can bring situations that might keep us stressed for a few days, weeks, or months. Even if we're not always thinking about this stress, it can be like a background soundtrack playing in our lives. Sometimes, you may feel like you have too much stress to handle. If you think you just can't manage it, you may want to seek help from your family members, friends, or a specialist. I hope you enjoyed our discussion. Before I end our lesson, just remember this. Free your mind from stress and you will feel the joy of life. Once again, this is Ma'am Juliana Lipio, your MAPE teacher. Thank you for participating.